Time Cruiser sucks.
What? Outrageous! This interview's over.
It's the summer of Slug.
It's the summer of Slug.
Hey folks, welcome back. I'm your host, R.R. Slugger, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Jamie from TrikBrix. Jamie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Slugger. How are you?
I'm doing well. This is awesome.
Yeah.
We were talking just a little bit before we hit record here and trying to decide what we should talk about today. We were talking about, music. Maybe we should talk about sports or something. But you brought up Lego, and I think Lego's a great topic for us to discuss.
Probably. Yeah, I think both of our audiences would appreciate that.
I think so too. So, for anyone that's unfamiliar with your channel, Jamie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, though, before I answer any questions, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for the community and for everything you've done for my channel because, I was away for a while and you kept the fires going, so...
Thanks, Jamie. Obviously there wouldn't be an RR Slugger without a TrikBrix. So, I think we're both pretty big fans of each other's work. That's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm Jamie. I'm from the United States. I live in Ohio specifically. And I prefer the term gulu versus AFOL. I've never been really... GULU stands for Grown Up Lego User.
Interesting.
I feel like it's a little more fun than AFOL.
Yeah.
Because AFOL to me, and I don't know where that term came from. I know it's been around for a long time. It can sound derogatory at times, I think.
For sure.
Don't be such an AFOL.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like a-hole, right?
Exactly, yeah. So I prefer the term gulu, but I've been a fan of Lego since before I can remember. I grew up with hand-me-downs from my mom and two uncles, and there's always been a bin of bricks around.
That's great, yeah. So when did you decide that this, love of Lego was going to take the form of being a YouTube channel?
Well, I first created the channel in 2017, and in the beginning it was more of like something where I could have all of my subscriptions in one place and, leave comments. It was all just for Lego. And then at some point I decided that I wanted to start making videos, and my first upload was July 8th of 2018, so just a little over 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, time flies when you take a 5-year hiatus.
Hey, I should try that sometime. That sounds great.
I don't know. I think your fans might have something to say about that.
Well, as I understand it, your fans had something to say about it too.
Yeah. I was getting comments and emails throughout that whole time period. But
I definitely remember sending you one.
yeah. And sorry it took so long to get back to you.
That's all good.
I think it was like 2 years or something, but
it's fine. We were, honestly just speculating because, when your favorite YouTuber disappears for a while, your mind starts racing, because it's not like television shows where, it's announced that, okay, the season's canceled or this or that, right? You don't have to worry that, maybe this person just got hit by a bus or something, right? You want to check in to make sure your favorite person online is still around and kicking.
Yeah.
So back in the beginning, what was the channel like?
Back then, I really didn't know what I wanted to do as far as making videos. I knew I wanted to put out something that I could be proud of for years to come and was of a higher caliber than just throwing something out there for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't know if I wanted to go the route of the modern Lego set review like everyone else was doing.
Yep.
So on that first upload day, I actually uploaded 2 videos. One was a modern set. It was the Jurassic Park Velociraptor Chase. It was the first actual Jurassic Park set they ever made, so I was super excited about that because I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan. But
gotcha, yeah.
So that was the first one, and then the second one was the Nebula Outpost from Explorians.
Right, I remember that video.
I just had so much more fun with the vintage set. You know, it was so nostalgic for me, and so I decided I think this is the direction I want to take.
Cool.
And so then I started thinking about, well, what are some other themes that I could review, and instantly adventurers came to mind.
Right.
And just kind of took that and ran with it.
So in your videos, especially like the early adventurers ones, you have some voiceover elements, right, where you're speaking through some of the story, let's say, and you're doing some accents and this and that, and there's just a lot of like thematic stuff that's going on there, and that left a huge impression on me as a viewer, obviously. But like what inspired you to go that direction, like to come up with original artwork, original music, and to like theme everything around the series that you're talking about?
Yeah, I really just wanted to create an experience, not just sit down and say, this is how many pieces the set has, this is how many minifigures it has. I wanted to create something that was fun to watch,
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, I was really just fumbling through the process. I at one point, I was going for the white void background in the beginning, and at one point I had like 15 lights or something because I didn't know you could adjust the ISO on the camera.
Oh no.
Yeah. And so I had no idea what I was doing. So I figured the things that I could do, I would add to it. And as far as like the music, kind of the same thing. Like I didn't know where people were getting their music from, and I was terrified of getting a copyright strike. So I thought, well, I'll just make my own, then I don't have to worry about it.
Totally. I think honestly that answer hopefully is inspiring to the folks listening, because like you just said, like you were able to create such high quality stuff, so such memorable, videos, that to come from a place of like not knowing, like, or not having prior experience, right, and still being able to do that, I find that very inspiring, and honestly that's how I approach my channel as well too. I didn't go to school for video, or I didn't have any programs, like video programs, growing up. It's just something I kind of stumbled my way through, and it sounds like we had a very similar approach to making our channels, honestly. Yeah,
it was a very run and gun type of thing. I knew what I wanted it to look like. I just had to figure out how to get to that point.
Cool. Yeah. Did you take any other inspirations for like the style of what you were creating on your channel? Like were there other YouTube channels that had kind of inspired you to go the direction that you went?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure many of them are on a subconscious level, but the biggest one is TrikBrix. I mean, I still think he's the goat of Lego YouTube reviews. And if I want to know, what a set's like, even now, 10 years later, ever since I started watching him, I'll always go back to his channel. I just like the style that he has. The no nonsense sort of approach to it. And then like I said, that white void background, I tried so hard to emulate that in the beginning, and he's been a big influence. And there's been some other channels too. Another fellow Canadian is Michael Mercy. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I don't know if I have, to be honest.
His channel is it's mainly like vintage action figures, which I was really into for a while, especially vintage G.I. Joe. But his channel had such a warm, inviting feeling, and that was something that I wanted to put forth as well,
Cool. Okay, Michael Mercy. I'll definitely look them up afterwards, because that sounds like something right up my alley too.
Yeah. He's great, and like I said, he does a ton of G.I. Joe stuff, a ton of Masters of the Universe, things like that.
Cool.
And really, as far as influences lately, the biggest thing has been the box art and product photography from the 90s. That's what I've been trying to emulate in my last couple videos, and plan to do more of in the future.
Yeah, and masterfully so, I might add.
Thank you.
It's definitely been a talking point of folks either in my comment section or in my Discord whenever a new TrikBrix video comes out and they take a look at it and they see all of the amazing visuals, and I tell folks, like, hey, I wasn't lying when I said, the king is back, because like this is amazing stuff, right?
Yeah. I try.
Modern TrikBrix is on a whole other level now. It's great.
I'm always trying to improve, and it's the backgrounds have really added a lot to that.
It's working. Yeah, absolutely. So what do you see then as the goal of what you're doing on YouTube? Like what is there like an end goal in mind, or is this more of like the journey is the destination, that sort of thing? Like why do you make the videos that you do?
Yeah, I guess the first thing would be to just conjure up that nostalgia that we all felt, when we got a new Lego set for Christmas, or we're flipping through the catalog, or walking down the Lego aisle and lifting those box flaps up and checking out all the new elements. That would be the biggest thing. Just create that or share that warm, fuzzy feeling, that we all think of when we remember what it was like as a kid. And then I guess another one would be to introduce maybe younger viewers to the Lego of the 80s and 90s, and kind of compare and contrast it to what we get today, and reintroduce people that maybe grew up with this stuff and either forgot about it or just never came out of their dark age. And I get a lot of comments like that where it's like, oh, I remember I had that as a kid, so that's always fun. Yeah. It's
definitely something I notice as well too, both in the comment sections of your videos and my own. It honestly feels like we sometimes are spokespeople of like Lego from like 40 years ago. It's kind of how it comes across, right? Yeah. Yeah. I wish everybody says, oh, you should work for Lego, and I say, if they'll send me sets from their vault, I'll review them. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That would be awesome. But I don't really have any interest in reviewing modern stuff. Yeah. And I guess, I don't know, maybe this is too probing, but why do you think that is? I don't know. Probably the biggest reason is that's just such an oversaturated form of Lego video, like so many people are making modern set reviews. I don't really think we need any more of those. Not that there isn't somebody out there that could offer a unique take on it, but I think my niche is Lego of the 80s and 90s, and I still enjoy modern Lego. I love modern Lego, but it just doesn't have the same magical feel, for me at least, as the vintage stuff. Right. Yeah. Have you ever, I guess, analyzed like why you feel that way about older Lego or modern Lego? I know that's a big thing that I try to talk about when I talk about older sets. I'm just curious what your take is on it too. I would freely admit that a huge part of it is just nostalgia. For sure. But also, those old sets, I really feel like they were more inspiring to the imagination. Everything wasn't super detailed and fleshed out, so you had those sets had room to breathe. Like you could use your imagination and fill in the space. I talked about that in my Forestman's Crossing video, and it was funny. I got a little bit of pushback on that, which isn't interesting.
Always yeah. I don't usually deal with that, but and I understood what people were saying. Like they don't like empty spaces, but I countered with, neither do I. That's why I filled it in, but I did it in a way that was for my imagination. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that I really appreciate about those older sets. Even though they appear simple on the surface, you can make them however you want. You can add all the detail you want to them. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned box art being a big inspiration as well too, and this is one of the things that I didn't consciously know that I had a preference, but now I do, I guess. And the big thing for me is set photography. Like I don't like renders on the front of the box or on the back of the box, or like the modern Lego render. It just kind of like saps a lot of the joy out of it for me, whereas old school set photography, where they actually had to set up the figures and get the shots, like there's a whole art to it, and
Exactly.
yeah, like, it's a big draw for me. I usually just recycle boxes if they have renders on them. So
I keep some of the more expensive sets, but yeah, I feel exactly the same way. You know, as good as the render is, you can tell it's not. It's almost an intangible thing. Like it's missing the magic that stuff had back in the 90s, especially.
Just
And
like,
I
wow.
loved, yeah, I loved like you know, we got the little inserts and everything, and there would be the full spread of the Lego city, and it has all of these foam hills and everything. They really put a lot of time and effort into presenting the set, and I know that a huge part of that, probably the biggest part of that, was just to sell the sets, but it also showed you how well everything worked together.
Some of the sci-fi themed sets, like I think of like the UFO boxes, they have like metal grates on them and like tubes.
Right, yeah.
It's so tactile. Yeah, and I mean, like you said, as a fan of Jurassic Park in that series, I imagine you're a pretty big fan of Industrial Light and Magic's like other works.
sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's where I am with that as well too. And there's just such a difference when you see like a model ship, like a starship or something like that up on the screen. Like you know in your brain it's not real, but it is real. Like it's a real physical item that exists, and I think that
Right.
makes a big difference in I guess enjoying it, at least for me.
For sure. Yeah, I know that CGI and everything has come a long way, but you'll never beat a good model.
Yeah.
In my mind, because like you said, you can tell that it's a physical object.
Yeah. Sorry, I guess I steered that car a little bit off track there. But I wanted to ask you about your hiatus, because you talked about it earlier. 5-year hiatus, which is a long time, obviously, in the world of YouTube, especially, right? YouTube kind of moves quickly. You know, 15 minutes, and then you're on to the next thing. But you stepped away from YouTube for 5 years there. What motivated this decision, and did it impact your personal enjoyment of the hobby?
There were a lot of moving parts that went into that decision. The two biggest would be I would just got to a point where I had burnt myself out, and then the straw that broke the camel's back was Kappa.
Oh,
So-
right. Yeah, it's been a long time since we have heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of disappeared. It was crazy.
So, sorry, for any listeners that haven't heard about Kappa before, do you mind explaining a little bit of what that was like?
I'll try.
Sure.
Basically, what it was, if I remember correctly, YouTube was getting in trouble for targeting ads towards kids. So they put it on the creators' shoulders to mark your videos for kids or not for kids. And, you know, obviously, I don't consider my videos for kids, but who knows what the pen pushers at YouTube are going to think. And if you marked your video not for kids and they deemed it was indeed for kids, you could either lose your channel or be fined hundreds of thousands of dollars per video, or both. And just wasn't worth it to me. So like I said, I had already worked myself into a burnout, and I just decided, like, we need to regroup, see what's going on. Everybody was freaking out, from the biggest, you know, toy YouTubers down to people like me. No one knew what was going on. So, but yeah, as far as the burnout goes, you know, I was trying to put out a video a week because everybody said, you know, you got to upload as much as possible if you want to grow your channel. And I was attempting to do that and often failing at it. So then I would feel disappointed and felt like I was disappointing people. And I was spending every waking hour, it seemed like, working on the channel. Like at my day job on my lunch break, I would be recording scripts.
Oh my goodness.
Or writing scripts, and then I'd come home and I'd be recording voiceovers or composing music every single night of the week. And then the weekend came and I'd be filming and editing and responding to comments, and it just seemed like I didn't have any time to recharge my own batteries. And it got to be where it had taken over any free time I had, and I was beginning to shirk some responsibilities outside of my job and, outside of Lego. So yeah, it got to a point where instead of being a fun way to enjoy the hobby, it was something that I was dreading coming down to the studio and filming.
Yeah, and that's a bad negative spiral to get into, eh? Yeah.
But throughout that whole time period, like that 5-year hiatus, I never stopped collecting Lego. Like, I still loved Lego. It was just the filmmaking process that I was taking a break from. So
that's really interesting. Yeah. So it, like, the burnout didn't affect your love of Lego. It just affected, whether or not you wanted to force yourself to go through all the hurdles of making videos, right?
Right. Yeah, it was just everything to do with YouTube.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's probably something that a lot of YouTube creators can relate to, right?
Yeah. For a while, I thought I would want to do this for a living, but I've watched so many people that do it for a living, and you can almost see it in their face as the years go by. There's so much stress. You're constantly worrying about the views and, is this video going to do good? Because I need this much money to buy groceries next week or whatever. I don't think I would ever want to be in that position.
Yeah, I agree. And as a person who periodically goes on a full-time YouTube spree during the summer of Slug, it can be like that, where you just realize that, wow, you know what? I haven't taken a day off in, what was it? It's the 26th today. Yeah, I haven't taken a day off in like 26 days. Like, wow, maybe I should rethink how much time I'm spending, doing these things, right?
Yeah.
So what got you back into making videos then? Because it wasn't it's not getting back into Lego, it's getting back into making Lego videos. So what was the thing that kind of inspired you to do that?
Yeah, throughout that whole time period, I had always intended on coming back. It was just kind of a matter of when. And right in the middle of it, I ended up getting married, and my wife, Emma, started seeing some of the comments and stuff, and I shared some of the videos with her, and she's like, you should, do this again. And I was like, I don't know if you would like me doing this again. It takes a lot of time, but she kept encouraging me. And so about a year ago, I decided, all right, it's time to make a decision. I either need to put out a post saying, sorry, TrikBrix is dead and it's not coming back, or I need to make a video. And so I made the Enchanted Island video, and then I was like, well, I kind of left people on a cliffhanger with Mtron, and I have these scripts that I wrote, 5 years ago, so I should probably pick up where I left off there. And then that turned into starting season 2 of the Western theme and everything, so it's just kind of snowballed from there. And the biggest difference this time around has been, to make a long story short, I went down to 3 days at my day job. So now I have 2 actual days a week dedicated to working on YouTube, and I still have 2 days that I can spend time with my family.
That's great.
Tend to other responsibilities and things like that. So it's definitely been a much better experience this time around.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I mean, as a viewer that was left on those cliffhangers, I was definitely inspired to take it into my own hands a little bit with some of that, which is why on my channel, I started talking about, what was it, Dino Island, and then into the Orient Expedition, because I was like, well, Jamie already talked about the first 2 series, so I don't have to cover those, right? So I'm going to start on Dino Island and go from there.
Yeah. I still haven't watched those videos. We've talked before.
Right,
I tend to avoid other people's content when I know that it's something that I plan on covering in the future. But I know your other stuff. You've done a great job, and the thing that I love about it is at least I don't see the influence, because you've done such a good job of making it your own.
Well, thanks.
So good work on that.
It's taken time though, because like certainly early on I was like, well, I hope this TrikBrix guy is dead, because otherwise he's gonna come after me. It did feel very, very much like, wow, this is just directly inspired by TrikBrix. There's like minor differences. I definitely focus more on photography and stop motion animation rather than video segments. But I mean, like nowadays, like your video stuff is so impressive. Like you've got like dolly shots and like how do you even do that? I'm going off my script here, but like how how do you set up the little dolly shots? You must have a little track for your camera to move on.
What it is, and it's a super cheap motorized camera dolly that I got on Amazon, and the issue that I have with it is it holds the phone. I film with my iPhone.
Right.
It holds the phone up a little too high, so I've had to build little camera dollies and sliders actually out of Lego, and then I'll just push those around with the motorized dolly. So yeah, the moving dolly shots have definitely, I think, added to the visual experience for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. My jaw was on the floor, I think, the first time I saw that in one of your videos. It's like it was one of those like, oh come on, there's no way he's also got this. Right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. So like we're talking about, you know, your modern style and modern videos here. Like, what are your future plans for TrikBrix then?
Really, just keep doing what I'm doing and trying to improve upon it. I really have been enjoying making these more immersive videos, you know, not just the set itself, but the background and then some set dressing to kind of make it feel like it's box art come to life, or those catalog images come to life. And that's my goal for the future of TrikBrix, just to create a more immersive experience that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah. Your channel recently passed a pretty big milestone as well too. Do you want to talk about that at all?
I just got to 15,000 subscribers.
Yeah, it's about damn time, right?
Yeah. The crazy thing to me has always been that when I left or went on hiatus, I had a little over 1,000 subscribers, and when I came back, I think I had about 9,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
And yeah, since December, it's gone up to almost 16 now. So
that's great.
But I know a huge part of that growth during my absence was due to you spreading the word, so I appreciate it.
I'm doing my part. Yeah, it's great, I'm really looking forward to hopefully one day seeing TrikBrix, surpass the 50,000 subscriber count and just keep on going. I don't know if you feel this, but I certainly do. I think there's an upper limit to how many people actually care about old Lego like this.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another reason. Yeah, that's another reason that I don't think this would be a career option for me, because I don't think the fan base is quite big enough to support me financially.
Yeah. I early on in my channel, I had folks asking me about, like, am I trying to grow it? Like, are you going to try to be a big YouTuber and stuff like that? And I said, well, you can kind of tell by the type of videos I release. Like, if I wanted to be a big YouTuber, I'd be out here talking about Lego Star Wars, Lego Minecraft, like that sort of stuff, right? I'm out here talking about Rock Raiders and Time Cruisers, like that. That's not gonna,
Galador.
Galador, yeah. Oh, the millions of Galador fans across the planet, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Somebody that I think has really done a great job with their channel, kind of fusing those two things together, is Caleb from Cheesy Studios.
Absolutely.
Because he does his revisiting videos, and they're so fun to watch, even though usually I have no interest in collecting whatever theme he's talking about, but he does such a great job presenting it, and it's so fun to watch. But on the other side, he has all of his Minecraft stuff, which brings in, tons of viewers. So he's done a great job kind of finding that perfect middle ground.
Yeah, and you can tell he's very passionate about the Minecraft stuff. Like, it isn't just pandering to a modern audience. Like, there is a real passion there, which, like, and you can pick that up. Like, you can absolutely tell, like, as a viewer, if you're watching someone reviewing the latest modern Lego set, or it's a new icon set, or whatever it is, right? And you just kind of get that vibe that, like, this is not really something that this person cares all that much about. They're just talking about the part count and the price or whatever, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and especially, I know, and I don't want to jump on the trashing the LAN, but so many of them, and I don't know if it's just because they don't know, they don't actually have to review whatever set they're sent by Lego, but that's another thing that he does such a great job of, and I'm always impressed how he fulfills his LAN obligations.
Yeah.
Sometimes he doesn't even show the set, it's just the minifigures, or he uses the pieces to build something else.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, he did a good job with, I think it was Lego Dreams or something like that, where he took the whole wave and just took it apart and built something new. Because he's a fantastic mock builder, right? Like, why not lean on that talent, right?
Right. Yep, for sure.
Yeah. I had another thought regarding modern Lego, and it was kind of related to the I guess the amount of modern Lego that we get now, because Lego produces, I think it's something like 700 to 1,000 sets a year now. And if you go back in time and you look at, like, take any year from the 80s or any year from the 90s, you're looking at maybe like a quarter of that sort of output, And how do you think that impacts the impression, like the lasting impression or the impact of these sets that we get today? Like does that have any sort of, like, does it color your lens when you look at modern Lego, knowing that, like, there's going to be next year, there's going to be another 1,000 new sets, like?
Right, yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard to keep up. If you want to have everything, it's about impossible these days. And I think a set has to be spectacular to stand out. Otherwise, it just gets lost, because, like you said, there's just so much stuff, and there's so many more expensive sets. Everybody always talks about how expensive Lego has gotten, and really, when you look at the numbers and look at inflation and everything, sets were just as much, if not more expensive back in the 90s.
Yes. Yeah.
But there's just so many more, $200-$300 sets now than there ever was. It used to be, you had a couple sets in the sub $10 range, and then it went up from there, and there was one big set, and it was easier to collect them all back then. And that's just out of the question these days.
You also had more time, and that's the big time pressure is what I feel, and it's one of the main reasons why I don't often talk about modern Lego, is because I've got things planned out so far in advance that by the time I get around to a set, sometimes it's already retired. Like, it's already off store shelves. It's already been scalped. Like, everyone's picked it up on clearance. Like, so, like, what it kind of feels like, what's the point then? Like, if I talk about old Lego, then there's never the risk of it, not being retired, because it already is retired, right? It's been retired for years. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's never going to go out of style. That was another thing that really took me by surprise when I came back from my hiatus and started. Like I said, I had been collecting as I went along, but I was just looking for good deals, or we have a store near us that sells used Lego, and
Nice.
occasionally they'll
Yeah.
have some vintage sets. But I was shocked by the secondhand prices on some of these vintage sets, how much they had gone up since 2019 or whenever it was that I left. But
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
it's always, vintage Lego to me is never going to go out of style, and it's just going to appreciate as time goes on.
I think you've probably experienced this, at least I know I have, but when buying vintage Lego, having a local Lego store that carries that, like a local secondhand Lego store like you talked about, is so valuable because you can actually inspect the pieces yourself before buying it.
Right. Yep.
Oh my goodness, I've been burned so many times. I've had to make a rule to myself. Okay, if it's 1989 or older, like I can't buy it online. Like I have to see those parts in
Yeah.
person. And honestly, that year is steadily increasing. Like it's probably now it's like okay 1993 or something, right? or older.
Right, right.
Yeah, as time goes on, because like so many of those white elements are completely yellowed. Just through age. So like Futuron, it's a complete crapshoot at this point trying to figure out like, can I buy this Futuron set? No, I should probably just see if I can find it in person and actually look at the pieces.
Yeah, and it's so hard on like eBay or Mercari to tell from the images, like, are these bricks completely all scratched up, or the windscreens, can you even see through them anymore, you know?
Yeah, bite marks.
I've been fairly fortunate. I actually buy most of my sets on eBay.
Yeah, me too.
So I've been pretty fortunate, and I've started buying sets that come with boxes and instructions, because I find that most of the time those sets are in better condition than just loose ones. And it's probably because whoever had it, built the set once and then put it back in the box.
Absolutely.
So
it's a good strategy.
Yeah, that's a little tip for all the collectors out there. Now the price of box sets is going to skyrocket.
Can it get any higher? Is there any ceiling to this?
I don't know.
Now, folks that have watched my channel before might know that I got a huge eBay score where I got all of the Orient Expedition essentially in one eBay order just a couple years ago. For I can't remember what it was. It was like $150, $200, something like that. It had everything in it, and it's the whole reason why I was able to actually sit down and do this set by set kind of review of Orient Expedition. And I wasn't planning on doing it because I didn't have all the sets myself, but got that big score, completely changed the trajectory of the channel. You've had a big score on eBay as well too. Do you want to talk about that one as well?
Yeah, that was crazy. It was one of the best days of my life when I got that package. Basically what it was a random bulk lot of 80s Lego bricks. It wasn't the photos were terrible. The description didn't really say much. It was 13 pounds, and there was only a couple pictures, and I think I got it for $50. It had just been listed, and I saw there was a couple Forestman minifigures that you could kind of see poking out of the bricks, because it was like a top-down shot of this cardboard box just full of bricks. And when it showed up, there was so much more than had been shown in the photos, and I started pulling out things like raised base plates that I knew only came in a couple sets, and then the Forestman's Crossing base plate, and I was like, wow, this is going to be something special for sure. And I can't remember exactly how many sets I ended up completing from that, but a few of the highlights would be the Imperial Trading Post, which is easily $300 to $400 on its own. And then, of course, the Forestman's Crossing, which is another ridiculously overpriced set. I don't know why that one's so expensive. It's great, but it's not worth $300. So that's an example of one that I wouldn't have reviewed if it wasn't for having some eBay luck.
Yep.
But yeah, there were castle stuff, and yeah, it was an amazing experience for sure, and I've been chasing that ever since. I've never been able to replicate it.
Yeah, chasing that dragon. Yeah.
Yep.
In my case, it was the golden dragon, actually. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting how, you know, getting those big scores can like completely change the trajectory of what you plan to cover on your channel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said at the time, I don't think I had any castle sets. Maybe one or two small ones, and all of a sudden I had like 6 or 7. So
Whoa, yeah, I never would have
it's-
guessed that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not because I didn't like castle. It's just there's so much to collect, and
Yep.
I only have, you know, the funds for so many different themes. But yeah, I hope everybody out there gets to experience that at least once, just that killer Lego deal. You know, I've heard a lot of stories, people finding things at garage sales and stuff. I've never had any luck at garage sales.
No,
but,
me neither. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that was amazing for sure.
Yeah, that's great. I'm gonna shift the questions here a little bit, bring it back to I guess Lego, but also thinking about like what ifs, let's say. So I get asked this question honestly all the time, but I'd be really curious to hear your answer as well too. If you could bring back one retired Lego color, which one would you choose?
This is an easy one for me, but I'm going to cheat a little bit because this color is actually still in production, but they only use it for one single element.
Ooh.
Do you know what it is?
This is really interesting. They only use it for one single element.
Yep, and I don't understand why they can't use it for other ones, but it's chrome gold.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yep. You can still get the one ring element
Right.
in chrome gold, but no coins, no helmets or crowns, anything like that. So that would be day one, me owning Lego. That would be my directive to bring back chrome gold for sure.
Chrome gold in every Lego set going forward.
Exactly.
Stamped.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And especially the coins.
Yeah, those old Lego coins are so good.
They've gotten so expensive too.
Yeah.
For a while, every Bricklink store I would visit, I would check to see if they had chrome gold coins, and then I'd just buy them out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten to the point where I can't do that because they're like over $1 a piece.
Yeah,
now.
yeah, they're
And,
more valuable
yeah.
than actual coins. Like
Yeah.
like here in Canada, we've got the loonie, which is our dollar coin, and it's kind of like a gold-looking coin. So for a little while there, it was like having little loonies in Lego, but now it's like toonies or even more, right? So
Right. Yeah. And I guess if I had to answer that, if chrome gold wouldn't work because it's technically still in production, I would go with one of the transparent neon colors.
Oh yeah, take your pick. Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I would love to see them release something like the Megacore Magnetizer in the Icons line, or maybe one of the Ice Planet sets, but without those colors, you just can't.
You just can't
do that.
Yeah. And I think it's wise that they're not doing it. it's one of the like that they're not trying to do it without those colors. I don't want the Deep Freeze Defender if it doesn't have trans neon orange.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't really understand why they retired those colors. We get 50 shades of pink that I can't even tell a difference, but we can't have our trans neon orange or whatever. So
yeah.
That's another one of those modern Lego decisions I don't quite understand.
Yeah, and I think it's. I don't want to speak for you, but at least from my perspective, it's I don't understand. I'm not questioning the decision. It's just I don't understand the rationale behind it, if that makes sense, right? Like it's
right.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some production reason why these colors can't exist anymore. Like it's got to have something to do with the physical process of making them. I would assume, but. I could be wrong. I have no idea, right? I don't understand.
Either. Yeah. And I'll even go one further. There's actually a color that I would like to add to the Lego palette.
Ooh.
I would love to see a medium gray. Forever we've had light
yes.
bluish gray and dark bluish gray. I'd love to see a color in between those.
Yes.
Again, we've got pinks and purples that I can't even keep track of. So why not, add another gray in there? I think that'd be really cool for like rock work and terrain builds and things like that.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone in wanting that. I've heard from people before that they compare the gradients of like you said, the blues, the purples, the pinks, like that sort of spectrum. There's so many colors to choose from, and then it's just either you got your light gray or you got your dark gray. We got both kinds of
Right.
music here, country and western, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that'd be huge, honestly, and pretty revolutionary in the grand scheme of things. Like for Lego to all of a sudden get a third gray color, like something to break the difference between the two. That'd be interesting to see.
Yep, for sure. I think, and like for spaceship builds, things
Yep.
like that. I think Star Wars would benefit greatly
Absolutely.
from having another gray.
Absolutely. I honestly though, I think a lot of Star Wars ships would really benefit from a lighter shade of light gray, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I made a video talking about the snow speeders. Snow speeders are actually gray in the movie. They always have been, but Lego sets portray them as white. And there's just a myriad of reasons why like white doesn't make any sense. From a physical model standpoint, right? Like Industrial Light and Magic, like they're not idiots. They wouldn't make a white model to film against a snowy backdrop, right? And in that documentary that they did on Disney Plus, they actually refer to the snowspeeder as a light gray, or they say it's the gray snowspeeders against the white or something. So even the model makers who built the darn thing say they're gray, and you would not believe like how many Star Wars fans will just die on this hill. They're like, no, snowspeeders are white. They're white. But I think what they're getting at though is that the original snowspeeder from 1999, like the Lego set, the grays on it are maybe just like a hair too dark. So if you lighten them up a little bit more, you'd probably get that perfect color that they need. And X-Wings are probably in the same boat, maybe even Star Destroyers, right? Like some of those ships are fairly light gray. So
same thing with the Millennium Falcon. Like light gray is a little bit too dark for the Millennium Falcon.
Fair enough. Yeah. So maybe having a little bit more gray choices would go a long ways, I guess. So maybe
I think that would be great.
Yeah, maybe a middle gray and then an even lighter gray. Yeah. But I think it'd be a tough sell at Lego HQ to say like, okay, well, we're actually gonna take out some colors. We're gonna get rid of this pink. We're gonna get rid of this purple, and we're gonna add grays. I think that's a tough sell.
Yeah, for sure. Everything's gotten so colorful.
I normally when I get asked this question, I go with the original competition purple, like that purple. I guess you'd know it from like the Harry Potter series, like Dumbledore's cloak, that sort of stuff, like that. That original purple. I really love that color. So it'd be nice to get that back. It's kind of a shade that's like missing essentially from our purple spectrum that we've got now. But that being said, I think the question itself is sometimes a little bit flawed because, at least to my knowledge, there has been one color ever in Lego's history that was retired and then brought back, and it's the teal color, like dark turquoise, right? And so I kind of look at that as like that was a one-time thing. Like that's never happening again. Like that was miraculous that it happened. So I don't know if I put too much stock in bringing back old colors. Like a lot of folks will say, oh, we want sand red back or sand purple or something like that. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I don't either, unfortunately. Sand red would be another one that I would like to see come back. But
sand red masonry bricks would be like a game changer.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So I guess we were talking about retired colors. What about a retired theme? And I imagine I know the one that you're going to bring up here, but like if you could bring back one old theme, what would it be? Yeah,
for sure. And this is another one I'm going to cheat on. because anyone who watches my channel knows that I love adventurers and I love pirates, and I often can't decide which of those two is my favorite, so I would bring them back together. That would be my ultimate,
yeah.
like Johnny Thunder going after Captain Redbeard's lost treasure. And you could have Captain Redbeard as like a ghostly pirate or something, and have like an underwater shipwreck or a big island with full of booby traps and things like that. That's where I would go as far as bringing back a theme. It would be two themes in one.
That's so perfect. Yeah, I love that pitch. Would you still set it in like the 20s, like that sort of?
Oh, for
time
sure.
period? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Yeah.
definitely.
Yep.
Yeah, that's one thing. Everybody asked me if I bought the city sets from last year or whenever that was.
Right.
And I did get the small one that came with the Johnny Thunder minifigure, but everything else was just too modern. I like the historical, setting of adventures. That's one of the things that makes it so special to me.
Yeah, I don't need Johnny Thunder using a cell phone or modern GPS, right? Like.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would definitely keep it in the 20s or 30s.
Yeah. What's your take on those sets? By the way, why is Johnny Thunder in those sets? Do you think? Like, what was the decision making process at Lego HQ for these modern Explorer sets to then all of a sudden inexplicably feature Johnny Thunder?
Yeah, I don't really understand that decision, and it's interesting to me that they chose not to name him Johnny Thunder, and I wonder if that has to do with their Indiana Jones license, if it's sort of a conflict of interest. Yeah, I don't really know.
That's a depressing thought right there.
Yeah, it is, because we got 3 or 4 Indiana Jones sets, and that was it, and we could have had an entire wave of adventure sets instead. But
yeah.
It is what it is. I know that they're going to follow the money, but I would have loved to have seen traditional adventure sets instead of the city ones. I think it's cool that we got the minifigure, and it's great for modern updates and mocks and things like that. But I would much prefer Johnny going after some kind of ancient treasure as opposed to like animals. He's an archaeologist, not a zoologist.
That's true. He did have a little foray on Dino Island, though, so maybe that's what they're kind of going for. I don't know, but you've definitely talked about that in your Dino Island videos, and I know I mentioned it in mine as well about how this Dino Island wave is kind of like the odd one out. It's just it's kind of a strange setting for Johnny Thunder, because in every other wave he's going after some archaeological find, and then they're just kind of going for like the Lost Island sort of thing, I guess, with Dino Island.
Yeah, and the story goes, if I remember correctly, he crash lands on the island.
Oh, okay.
That creates all sorts of other problems, like where did he get his research compound and his semi that he's hauling a T-Rex around on.
Right, yeah.
So, but and not to spoil an upcoming review, but I'm working on the script for the T-Rex transport right now. And it kind of highlights some things about Dino Island that kind of make me, that kind of confuse me. And it's the T-Rex transport. Okay, he's trying to save these dinosaurs from Baron von Baron. So it's easier to transport dozens of 6-ton animals off the island out of their natural habitat than neutralizing one character, which is Baron von Baron. Or if you go with the idea that he's taking them to the mainland to research. Well, he's already got a research compound on the island for some reason.
Right.
So those are the things that kind of confuse me a little bit about Dino Island. And I feel like it's by far my least favorite sub-theme of adventures. I don't think it's terrible. I still like it better than a lot of modern stuff.
For sure.
But just the execution of it and the story premise is a little out there, I think.
I agree. I had trouble with that as well too, where we're capturing the dinos for good reasons, and the bad guys are capturing the dinos for bad reasons. It's like,
right? Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. One of the things though that surprised me about Dino Island, and I guess if you don't mind, maybe we'll chat just for a second about it. Is I had already I'd never really had many of the Dino Island sets growing up. Honestly, I can't remember if I even had a single one of them. So I got them all as an adult. And I was actually pretty impressed with some of the build quality of the models, because I'd always been told the Dino Island was the bad one. It was like, the odd one out, it's the weird one, it's the bad one. And upon actually building them, I was genuinely impressed with most of the builds. I would say there are certainly some weaker ones in there, but I'm curious what your thoughts are on that aspect of Dino Island.
Yeah, I think my problems with it it just doesn't feel cohesive with the other three. They feel more rooted in reality, even though that you have these supernatural things going on with the mummy and Achu being able to fly through the jungle or whatever. Dino Island, to me, like the vehicles they're kind of out there, whereas all of the other ones had much more realistic vehicles. And this is something that I heard Steven Spielberg talking about with Raiders of the Lost Ark. Everything up to the end was very grounded in reality, and then all of a sudden everything goes crazy with everything coming out of the Ark of the Covenant. That's the way I feel like the other three adventures sub-themes do so well, is the setting and the set dressing, as it were, feel very grounded in reality. And then you have this one thing that's like supernatural or, out of this world. Whereas the entire idea of Dino Island is out of this world. And I don't hate the idea of dinosaurs living on a lost island. My problem is more with the design. And as far as like the builds go, though, I think they're fine. I love like the Island Hopper. I think is the best adventurer's plane ever. Yeah. And I love the Trackmaster, and I actually really enjoy the T-Rex transport. There's some things about it that I would change, like both of the vehicles are just single seaters. It's so easy just to pop in one of those 2-seater cab elements.
Yeah.
It's like an instant upgrade for that set, but I love the barge. Yeah. It could use a little bit of tweaking, but the idea of it's great.
Yep. I like on the barge, you can store the truck. Like the truck fits on the barge as well too, so it has multifaceted purposes. And honestly, I guess that kind of speaks to something that I really like about adventurers, and it's that the vehicles aren't like villain coded or hero coded. They could be used by either side, like for the most part. Like sometimes there's the occasional set, and in Orient Expedition they put the flags on them, like it's red if it's a good guy thing and it's yellow if it's a bad guy thing, right? So that kind of kills that vibe. But Dino Island's got that, and certainly the original Adventurers waves, like in the Amazon and in Egypt, they have that as well too, where like the vehicle could be used by either team, and I like that about adventures. I think it's cool.
The only thing, if you look in Dino Island, it seems like a lot of the villains' vehicles are kind of have that black and blue accent,
right? That's true.
The heroes have the red and gray. But they don't stick to that because Baron's Island Racer is gray and red. So
and there's that green vehicle in the research compound as well too. But like you're talking earlier about how Dino Island kind of goes into the fantastical sort of thing. I'm going to be very curious to hear your take on that airplane in the research compound when you make your video for it, because that airplane is really something else, eh?
Right. And I'm really trying not to. I understand, you grew up with Dino Island. I know how nostalgia works, but I didn't have any Dino Island sets as a kid. I think my younger brother did, but so I have no nostalgia for Dino Island, and I'm looking at this, from a completely new perspective as an adult collector, and comparing it to just the other sub themes within adventurers, and yeah, it doesn't quite cut it for me.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's entirely fair. I think largely I agree with that. Though in rebuilding the Orient Expedition sets, I was a little, I guess I don't want to say let down, but I remembered them as a kid being better than they were. They're still very good, right? Like, and I think Orient Expedition is overall my favorite Adventurers Wave. It's tough because Egypt is so good too. So
Right.
yeah.
And so is Jungle. I love Jungle
honestly,
too.
yeah. I think the one thing, if anything, holding Jungle back from competing with the other ones is that it's so small compared to them. There just isn't a lot there.
Yeah, I think there's like 7 sets. Or
Yeah,
something like that.
tiny little sub theme.
And Dino Island, I think, is a great toy. You know, you got things like I can't remember the name of it right now, but the vehicle that you run into something. And the net flies up.
Yeah, all-terrain trapper. That's the one. Yep.
Yeah. I think that's a great toy.
Yep.
But when you compare it to something like the truck from the Pharaoh's Forbidden Ruins.
Oh yeah,
I would much rather have the realistic truck.
Yep.
So and as far as Orient Expedition goes, same thing. Like I feel like for a kid, maybe Dino Island would be more fun to play with. But from a visual standpoint, I find the look of Orient Expedition is so much better than Dino Island.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There really isn't much of the island in Dino Island. It's almost entirely vehicles, and there's the only foliage that you get. I mentioned this in one of my videos. The only foliage that you get is one little type of branch, you know.
Yeah, just repeated
and
over and over. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like I said, the idea of dinosaurs living on an island doesn't bother me. It's just I think it could have been executed better.
Right. Okay, so we steered the adventurer's truck off into adventurer's land there.
Yeah.
Maybe I can ask you about what do you do with your Lego outside of YouTube videos? You know, because obviously when you are in a position where you're making videos, oftentimes, like, I know I feel this way, and I imagine you do as well. Sometimes you view a set as like, okay, does this set lead to more content? Like, can I make content from this? Like, it like fundamentally, philosophically changes the way you look at the toy. But I'm just kind of curious, like, did you do stuff with Lego outside of making videos?
Yeah, I mean, and I would say that any modern Lego set I purchase is purely for myself because I have no intention of reviewing it. But as far as the vintage stuff goes, I definitely think about how I can use it in a video. But as far as like what I do with it, you know, I'm not like laying on the living room floor playing with them like I did as a kid, as cathartic as that may be. But for the most part, they're just on a shelf or in a cardboard box, you know, waiting to be used. And I'm actually working on a dedicated collection room right now, so hopefully I'll be able to put everything on display when I'm not filming it. But I would say display is the biggest thing, and I love modifying sets. You know, I've always kind of showcased that in my videos, so that's another thing too. I love mock building. It just takes a lot of time that I don't always have, so that's one that I would like to get more into. But yeah, mostly they just sit on the display and may or may not get dusted.
Dust is the enemy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I know in I think it was one of your members only videos, you talked about a type of putty that you use to get dust off. That's been a real time saver for me because we have 4 cats in our house. Wow.
And it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I dusted it yesterday. There's always going to be something on it. So every time I get ready to film, I'll just run over the set real quick. It's I think this stuff was developed for like keyboards and things like that, like electronics. Yeah. and it's just a universal dusting gel.
Cool.
But yeah, it's been a huge time saver for me, and even then, occasionally, I'm sure you go through this too. You'll be setting up a shot or reviewing footage, and there's a cat hair or
worst.
something hanging on somebody's head.
The worst. Yeah.
Lego's like a magnet for that stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's so glossy that it pops out, and it's really tough to catch it like while you're making the thing, because like, you know, the minifigure is tiny, and you're standing, you know, a few feet away,
Right.
and you're operating the camera, and the camera viewfinder's tiny, and then you go to your computer to edit it, and you blow it up on the big screen. You're like, oh, there's a hair hanging off the character's face. I gotta go back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use creative editing techniques to get around it, and I'm not talking about like
I've
Photoshop.
definitely done that too,
Yeah. But I've definitely like I'll pan the camera, you know, in the direction away from the hair, you know, to help focus the eye like in a different direction, and I'm like, okay, that works well enough. Yeah. So, are you a Lego purist, or do you dabble in other building formats like Mega or Kobe, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I would say that my collection is probably 98% Lego for sure. I would generally consider myself to be a Lego purist. If I find any Mega blocks or anything in random bulk lots that I get, they always go into the trash or whatever. But that said, there are a few things that have come out that I'm interested in, like the subject matter. Mega Bloks a couple years ago came out with their Masters of the Universe line, and I have every set they ever put out for that, including some of the really rare San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Just I loved that theme so much. And if you want to talk about like a complicated Lego build, Castle Grayskull is the most grueling thing that I have ever put together, including like the UCS Millennium Falcon.
Wow.
It was everything sand green, and there's thousands and thousands of tiny pieces. It was I was so happy to be done with that build. It looks great, but getting there was a chore for sure. And and likewise. Last year, I think it was, Mega came out with the G.I. Joe Sky Striker. And I've always said that if I could pick a licensed theme for Lego to make that I know they wouldn't make, it would be G.I. Joe. I'm a huge G.I. Joe fan.
Yep. Yo, Joe.
Yep. And so Mega came out with this Sky Striker, which is interesting because G.I. Joe is a Hasbro property, but Mega is owned by Mattel. But they did some things in this set that we could only dream of Lego doing, and I was super impressed. First, not a single sticker. Everything was prints. And then things like, obviously, if people don't know, the Sky Striker is basically an F-14 Tomcat. So it has that clear canopy, where in Lego, that would just be thrown in with 100 other bricks. Mega carefully wrapped that in tissue paper and stuck it in its own little bag so it wouldn't get scratched up in the box. And they did that with some of the other prints too, so they wouldn't get scratched up.
Only the best. Yeah.
Yeah, it was you know, being used to opening a brand new Lego set and seeing scratches on your windscreen, it was definitely a refreshing change of pace.
That's great.
Yeah.
But
I would say those two are probably the only excursions I've made outside of Lego.
I would definitely say most of my collection as well. Probably 98 or 99 maybe is Lego. I would call myself a Lego purist. It's brand loyalty to a fault, I think, at some point. Yeah. But you know, it is what it is. I don't know if I can change that about me. However, I'll ask you this because I'm certainly guilty of it. Do you throw out Lego pieces? Because I know you talked about throwing out Mega Bloks pieces and stuff like that, and I certainly do that as well. But like, do you ever throw out a Lego piece?
I don't think I ever have. Maybe some like brittle brown stuff. It's possible that some of that's gotten pitched, but yeah, I don't think I've ever thrown away anything else.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. I'm a little bit more guilty in that regard there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of
Like
one
even
of
if
those.
it's something, even if it's something I don't like, I might be able to use it for something in the future. So I hang
That's
on
fair.
to pretty much everything.
Yeah. I kind of have the approach of, well, hey, if this piece has bite marks on it, I don't want it anywhere in my collection because at some point in time I might end up accidentally using it, and then it'll be caught on camera, right? Because the camera picks it all up, right? So if a piece is scratched up or it just goes in the garbage. So I'm kind of guilty about that. And a lot of folks get on my case about that when they hear that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if there was, right. I guess if there were, child's bite marks on a brick or something, I haven't come across that yet, but I guess if in that case, I would probably throw it away too, or just make sure that I used it somewhere that wasn't visible.
It's good to hear because I'm trying to pass these people off onto you. They're going to be your problem now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have hobbies outside of Lego? I know we've been spending a lot of time talking about Lego here. Any hobbies outside of Lego or video making?
Like I said, I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan, so I have a big Jurassic Park action figure collection, like 3 3/4 inch stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun, and to a lesser extent, Star Wars 3 3/4 stuff. I have most of the original Kenner action figures from the late 70s and early 80s. So both of those hobbies, however, have kind of suffered since me being, since I started making videos again. Because I've just, true, yeah. But those are two things. But I would say the biggest thing outside of Lego, and in a lot of ways it rivals my Lego hobby, would be fish keeping. I have, I think, 10 aquariums or close to it, so that keeps me busy. But it's it's such a rewarding hobby. Very expensive, just like Lego, but it's so nice to come home from a long day of work and just sit in front of the aquarium and watch the fish.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I'm pretty into it. Like this isn't like the SpongeBob castle and rainbow gravel. I do live plants, real wood, real rocks. I try and make it as natural as possible for the fish. And I've recently started breeding fish, which is a really fun endeavor too.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a whole other world. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say outside of Lego, that's my biggest hobby.
That's neat. Yeah. That's really cool. We had I mean we still do, like my parents do. We had an aquarium growing up and fish pond, that sort of stuff. So I definitely grew up around fish as well. We mostly just koi's and that sort of stuff. But fish come and go, and yeah, it is.
Yeah,
what it
it's
is.
relaxing. It's relaxing until fish start dying for no apparent reason. But yeah, other than that, it's definitely a worthwhile hobby.
So, as a video creator, someone on YouTube, someone who's been on YouTube for a while, and you've seen the ups and the downs, and the highs and the lows, that sort of stuff. Do you have advice for other creators on the platform as well?
Yeah, and I can obviously only speak to what I enjoy watching as a viewer. I'm obviously don't have all the answers, otherwise I'd have 100,000 subscribers. But I can only offer what I've learned the hard way, I guess, in a few instances. But I guess first, decide why you're doing it. Like, are you just doing this for fun, to blow off some steam? In that case, none of these points would apply to you. Just do whatever makes you happy. But if you want to create something that's worthwhile, the biggest thing, or one of the biggest things to keep in mind, is anything worth doing is worth doing well. I've seen so many videos held back by poor production that otherwise would have been super interesting. And, it's as simple as watching some YouTube tutorials on how to light a scene, or how to how to record audio or whatever. And you're already on YouTube anytime anyway, so you just take a few hours and these videos, when you upload them, I think people just forget they're going to be out there forever. So I think it's worth it to take a little bit of extra time and create something that you're going to be proud of in 5 or 10 years or whatever.
That's honestly that's huge, because there's such a mindset of disposability, let's say, like towards videos. Like there's so many creators out there that focus on the first 48 hours, right? Like that's the most important time for video, and then they just leave it to die and move on, right? But you're talking about something that lasts, right?
Right, exactly. And making something that people are going to want to go back to. And it seems like everybody worries about their equipment, like how much money am I investing in the equipment? Well, to me, it's much more important to invest time into the process. None of my equipment is high dollar stuff. Like I said, I use my iPhone to record everything. I think my mic was $100 maybe. My lights were super cheap. So spend the time to learn, like I said, how to light a scene or how to adjust your ISO. Don't do what I did. Yeah, I think my channel would have been much better off if I had taken my own advice in the beginning and not fumbled through everything. Your videos will instantly get better if you spend an hour or two, learning how to do it from somebody that knows.
Yeah, it's that knowledge kind of paired with effort, because that's the big thing you're talking about here too, right? It's like actually putting in the time,
right?
To do it. Yeah.
Probably more important than that, and more difficult for sure, is finding something that makes your videos original. It's okay to take inspiration from people, but I feel like whatever it is you're trying to present should come from you. You know what I mean? Should be something that people can't see anywhere else. And we see it every time a new set comes out. Like I mentioned earlier, the LAN, you see 100 reviews of the same set come out the same day, and that's. I'm not saying that if you want to make Lego reviews that you can't do that, but find a way to make it stand out. Like I mentioned how Caleb does, from Cheesy Studios.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that I really appreciate about your channel, because you can take a single Lego piece and make an 8-minute video about it and make it interesting. And that is definitely not an easy thing to accomplish, but you've been able to do that, and after a while you keep doing that over and over again, people don't even question. They see, oh, it's a new RR Slugger video, of course I'm going to watch it. They don't even care what it's about, so that's definitely one of your strong points for sure.
Thanks. Yeah.
But just be original, be unique, come up with something that makes your video stand out. And like I said, that's easier said than done, but it's well worth the effort for sure. And I think if you want to do Lego reviews, that's great. One of the things that I do, and like I mentioned to you earlier, how I haven't watched any of your Orient Expedition stuff. I try to not watch other creators' content on something that I plan on reviewing in the future. That way, my thoughts and my opinions, how I feel about the set, is completely from me. It's not tainted by what other people think. So I think that's one of the a best practice thing if you want to do Lego reviews, is just don't watch other Lego reviews. It's a guaranteed way to make sure it comes from you. Yeah,
to keep your opinion pure and unbiased from outside influence. I guess it's something that comes with time, but being able to express your opinion and work through why you feel the way you do. I know it's definitely something that I cover a lot in my own videos. I treat the YouTube process as kind of an introspective one. It allows me to look inwards and kind of look at, why do I feel this way about this Lego set? Why do I feel this way about this entire year of Lego, or this era, or this theme, or that sort of thing? And how do I put that into words? How do I describe that? And I imagine you go through a lot of that as well too, right? When writing
for sure.
Scripts.
Yeah. Yep. Sometimes it's hard to figure out why you do or don't like a certain set or a part of a set. But yeah, for sure. And one thing that I wish somebody had told me from the beginning, and in fact I was being told the exact opposite, is focus on quality over quantity. There's no reason. You do not have to put out a video a week in order for your channel to grow. I mean, like I told you, my 5-year hiatus is proof of that. I didn't put out a video for 5 years and I got 8,000 subscribers. So take your time. Don't settle for mediocrity. It's funny, Lego's motto used to be only the best is good enough.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think that means, oh, I need the best camera or I need the best lights. I think that means do the best. For us, it means do the best that you can do with what you have.
Yep. It's a best effort sort of thing, right?
Yeah. But you can't get caught up in the numbers and the analytics, because that's, especially in the beginning, that's just going to depress you. So, and people, if you're putting in the effort, people I find are attracted to quality and talent. So your audience will find you. It's going to take time. Don't get discouraged. So that would bring me, I guess, to my final point is do it for love. You have to do it because you want to do it, not because, you want tons of subscribers or you want to make tons of money. You have to do it because you love doing it. And that was kind of what I lost when I was in the beginning. And part of that was from the burnout. And part of it was I was watching the numbers, and it's like, I'm putting all hours and hours and hours into these videos and they're getting, 1,000 views at most or whatever. So definitely you need to do it because you love Lego or whatever your subject is. It doesn't even have to be about Lego, but you love Lego and you love filmmaking. That has to be your main reason.
That's great advice. Yeah. Yep.
And like I said, don't get discouraged, because in the beginning it's going to take some time usually, unless you get super lucky and the algorithm shines on you for some reason. It's going to take a while, and I've seen it. Unfortunately, channels start out and they put out stuff that I really enjoy, but the numbers aren't there. So they stop making videos or whatever. And I think if you go into the process expecting that, it's not quite as bad. It's like that old saying, hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Right. Now, like you mentioned previously, you passed the 15,000 subscriber milestone, 2 million views, like these big channel milestones. Are you ever at all, I don't know if the word's nostalgic, or did you ever think back to when your channel was much smaller, let's say like 100, 200 subscribers, that sort of thing, and the difference in the feel and I guess the vibe of the channel back then? Did you ever look back fondly on that, or has it only gotten better as time goes on?
I would say for the most part it's gotten better, although there was a sense of it was easier to respond to comments back then.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And there was this sense of a community, and I still get that, because there's still people that watch every video and comment on every video, and I recognize their names and everything. But in the beginning, it was like this dedicated few people that I would interact with every time. And it definitely felt special back then, and I recognize that. But like I said, I feel like things have gotten better, and my goal being to spread the love of vintage Lego. The more subscribers that I get, it's not for my ego. It's like that's somebody that I'm sharing my love with. Yeah, those early days, they were fun for sure. And like I said, I was learning at the same time. So once I figured out how to do what I wanted to do, I remember I was almost through the Adventures retrospective, the first season, when I finally figured out how to do the white void background. So that was a big revelation. But yeah, I definitely look fondly on those early days.
Yeah.
But I'm also super excited for the future.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there's and like you said, being able to respond to comments and read every comment like that is something that changes as you know, the viewership increases. All of a sudden it becomes I guess a less like one-on-one sort of personal interaction. It becomes harder to keep track of that sort of stuff. So I guess I'm kind of piggybacking off of your answer a little bit here. Apologies, but as in terms of advice for creators, I really do try to stress, like, try to enjoy the moment when you have a small channel, because like it never comes back again. Like that's
Right.
it's a very ephemeral thing, right? And I certainly miss it sometimes. I really enjoyed having a small, like there's something nice about being like YouTube's best kept secret, you know, like there's
Right,
something cool
yeah.
about that, right? Like, where you feel like, you know, these videos I'm making are really great, but you know, it's flying under the radar, you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's like your favorite band that nobody else has ever heard
Exactly,
of, you know?
exactly. Yeah, and you get that positive word of mouth, which is exactly what happened with your channel. It's exactly what happened with my channel as well too. Is all of a sudden someone with a larger reach gets to see what you're making, and they tell their friends and you know, viewers about you, and then all of a sudden, you know, another bigger person starts talking about you, and another, and then it's just like, wow, it kind of snowballs from there. And they wouldn't be talking about you if the stuff you made wasn't like high quality, you know, art. Right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely don't take for granted when you only have 5 comments on a video,
Yeah,
because it gets to the point, and I know you've gotten to this point, where you just don't have 8 hours a day to sit down and respond to every single comment. And fortunately, I haven't got to that point quite yet. I still can respond to every comment, but it does take hours some days to get through all of them. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to the day when all I can do is, you know, heart people's comments and not actually engage. But unfortunately, you know, I have to sleep at some point. So
yes, yeah.
You know.
Like you're very close to the, at least where I experienced that sort of threshold of like, okay, I can no longer respond to everybody at this point.
Right.
Yeah, it's coming, Jamie. It's coming.
Yeah. And you're about to hit a big milestone too, aren't you?
We're working the way up there. Yeah, almost at 50,000, which is huge, and you know, that's something I can hang my hat on and be proud of. But it certainly has slowed down. Like it is slowed to a crawl at this point.
Yeah.
I've been within that 47,000 to 48,000 range for about a year, I would say. I don't think the YouTube algorithm has looked at my channel in 2 years, I would say. So, because occasionally I would get like a huge spike video where it just pop off and it'd be 100,000 people watching it. But that has not happened in a very, very long time. And I'm honestly pretty grateful for that. Having experienced those big spikes, you just get so many people jumping in that are completely just not familiar. They're unfamiliar with your channel and what you do. And depending on what the YouTube algorithm decides as being like, this is the video that everybody on the planet should see, you know, they choose a really weird specific video where you're talking about the retirement of a Lego color or something like that. And they just get people are like, why are you complaining about this toy, this Lego toy? You know, like there's world events that matter, you know, like you get comments like that. You're like, well, okay, you're obviously not someone who's going to stick around with this channel.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I like growth at my own pace a little bit better. I don't like the YouTube algorithm, grabbing random videos and sending them out there.
Now, have you ever had a video that you really thought was going to do well and just completely tanked?
Absolutely, and it's crushing, right?
Yeah.
I imagine. I don't know. Has that problem ever faced you before as well?
For sure, yeah. And other on the flip side of that, I've also been surprised at how well certain videos have done. They're I guess that would be another piece of advice to new creators is you just never know what's going to happen. So you can't predict what the algorithm's going to do, because if you can put so much heart and soul into a video and 5 people watch it, and you can throw one together in 30 seconds and it gets 100,000 views. So go figure.
Yeah. Like you have to, make them for yourself. You have to be proud of it, right? Yeah. I've got an old video on my channel, and I always talk about it. I always bring it up. It's RR Slugger's 1012 subscriber special. And it's one that not very many people have seen, and I understand why, because from the title it doesn't seem like it's even related to Lego, and I'm intentionally keeping it that way because the structure of the video depends on that. But I also look at that video as being like, that is one of the best videos I ever made, and every time I sit down and make a new video, I'm always trying to can I make something as good as the 1012 subscribers special?
Yeah. I feel that way now about my Pirates of 1989 video.
Yeah.
That one was it was a lot of work, but it was so much fun, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. And that was one of the instances where it did better than I expected it to.
Good. Yeah, it's rewarded. Yeah.
But yeah, I know that feeling where you're trying to replicate your previous achievements. Mm-hmm. From a filmmaking standpoint,
Yeah, absolutely. There's another YouTube creator, you might be familiar with them, Davey504. He's a bass player on YouTube. Not sure if you've ever seen his stuff or not.
I'm not sure if I have or not.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Kind of like, I mean, he's a lot younger than both of us, so kind of more into that Gen Z sort of humor, that sort of thing, kind of making memes about bass playing, that sort of stuff. Never use a pick, that sort of thing, right? Slap the bass. Right. Yeah. But he had a video, and I don't know why I was watching it, but he was talking about this, and it really stuck with me because he's a big YouTuber. I don't know how many subscribers, hundreds of thousands, millions, I have no idea. But he was saying, when you have a small channel and your video doesn't get a lot of views, it makes sense because you just have a small channel, right? But when you have a big video, like a big channel, and your video doesn't get a lot of views, that it feels so much more personal, because now it's your subscribers saying, oh, we don't want to watch this, we don't like this. Yeah. And that kind of thing was interesting for me, because I saw it at a time when I think my channel was quite a bit smaller back then, but certainly now, almost hitting that 50,000 subscriber thing. That I don't know the last time any of my videos got 50,000 views. Like that's yeah. So the majority of the folks subscribed aren't watching every single video, and you really feel that at times where like one of my more recent series is this plastic planes thing, and I'm certainly not doing that to chase the algorithm, let me tell you that. Yeah.
They've been great though. I've enjoyed every single one of them.
Thank you. I've enjoyed making them. I've had a lot of fun, but I'm certainly not doing it to chase numbers. For the folks like at home listening along that don't have like a YouTube channel and haven't uploaded things, YouTube's got this thing on their dashboard where it ranks your videos, your top 10 within your recent 10 videos, and it ranks them in terms of performance. So you usually want to get, like this is a 1 out of 10 or a 2 out of 10. Those are good things. That means your channel is growing. It means your videos are doing better than the previous videos were. But a lot of our Slugger videos are 10 out of 10s or 9 out of 10s. Like those plastic plane episodes do not perform well comparatively to other videos on my channel. And there is a little bit of discouragement in that because you're like, oh, darn. But at the same time, you're appealing to a niche. And there are certain people out there that like really jive with what you're doing. And niche videos serve a purpose too, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I know for me, I've had a bunch of people ask for me to upload like some of my original music, and every time I do that, I know that it's going to mess with my algorithm or whatever.
Yep.
But sometimes that's important. It's like you're giving back in a way, to the people that are very dedicated. They're the ones that are going to appreciate it.
Agreed. Yeah, and I've experienced that as well too. I always try to plan it out ahead of time in my schedule, where it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take a big hit here by uploading 10 original music songs in a row, right?
Right. Yeah. I've actually contemplated creating a separate channel just for my music. Yeah.
I've been in a very similar boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been really great. Really great talking to you about YouTube channel stuff and the history of the channel. Hopefully folks that have been listening along have got a better sense of who you are and what you do. And I mean, I really hope that folks take this opportunity to hop over to TrikBrix channel. If you haven't heard me talk about TrikBrix before, you need to go check this guy out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you got for time here, Jamie, but I've got some user submitted rapid fire questions if you want to go through any of these.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do my best.
Sure. Sounds good. Lots of off-topic stuff though. So like, okay. if there's anything in here that you're like, no, I don't want to answer that, you can just pass.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So first one, tough one. Favorite flavor of ice cream? The viewers want to know.
Oh, black raspberry.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Specifically, black raspberry chocolate chip. There's a brand of ice cream around us. I don't know if it's available outside, but I've only seen it at one store here, and it's a black raspberry chocolate chip. It's amazing.
Wow. That sounds great.
Yeah.
You talked about dinosaurs earlier. Do you have a favorite dinosaur?
T-Rex.
Nice.
I love the velociraptors in Jurassic Park, but they're not actually velociraptors in real life, so I would go with the T-Rex.
That's so funny because like that's the vanilla ice cream answer of dinosaurs, isn't it?
I
right?
know,
Yeah. That's great. Do you play Smash Bros? And if you do, who do you main? Who's your main character in Smash Bros?
I don't play many video games.
Oh,
and
okay, fair enough.
When I do, it's always the classics: Super Metroid, Super Mario RPG. Those are my go-tos.
Sweet. All right, sounds good. Do you have a favorite animal? And to add to that question, do you have a favorite Lego animal?
Favorite animal? Well, like I said, we have 4 cats. So I must like them
right.
Quite a bit.
You have to choose that, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And 75% of them are great. As far as my 4, one of them is an absolute demon. But I love cats, and I really like the little Lego kitten that came out just a few years ago. That's a great little piece. Yeah, and anything like the tiger that just came out in the city jungle sets. That was pretty cool too.
Did you have a favorite holiday, favorite season, type of weather, sunny, cloudy, rainy, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, summer is my favorite type of weather. But my favorite holiday would probably be Christmas.
Yeah.
So
classic.
that ensures that I enjoy the entire year.
That's right, eh? Yeah. Well, what's the weather like where you live? Like, do you get a lot of snow, or is it mostly sunny?
It depends. I'm sure we don't get nearly as much as you do, but yeah, we do get snow, and in the summer, it's very humid here. But I don't mind it. I like having the different seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we get about 7 months of snow here.
I get tired of it at the end of winter, and it's not the snow that bothers me; it's the cold.
Yeah, it can get pretty chilly.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good question. This one's actually Lego related. It's a tough one. Maybe it won't be that tough. I don't know. Here it is. So, hypothetically, Lego brings either the monkey or the palm tree molds out of retirement. Which do you choose?
Palm tree.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's got to be, right?
It's much more useful.
Yeah.
As much as I love the monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, if I could go on TrikBrix and just buy 100 palm trees, that would be amazing.
And you already have a pretty big collection of palm trees, eh?
Yeah. And that's another thing. Just like the gold coins, they've gotten so expensive, but
Yeah.
they're fantastic. That's like one of my favorite 90s Lego pieces, even though it's a bunch of pieces. That palm tree is one of my favorite things about Lego 90s Lego.
Yeah. It's one of those like they had a perfect system for it, and they got rid of the perfect system for it, and I don't understand. You know?
I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Yeah. Did you have any strong opinions on Lego Bionicle? And this question is specifically asking about the Toa Metru.
Is that the first one, or I don't know? Here's
fair.
Okay. Here's the thing.
That's a pretty good answer. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Bionicle, and I had one of the characters. I think it was Tahu from the very first wave of Bionicle. I remember getting the comic book along with my Lego Mania magazine, or I think it was still Lego Mania back then.
Yep.
And really liking the artwork and everything. And my brother and I each got one character. I think he got what's the white one?
Oh, Kapaka.
Yeah. So that tells you how much I know about Bionicle.
Yeah.
I don't hate it because I don't know about
fair.
it really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. I got asked and my answer was similar to your answer here. It was something about Batman. Like someone was asking me about my favorite Batman, and I was like, I don't really watch Marvel, you know, like I don't know much about Marvel. Yeah. Right. The answer is revealing, right?
Yeah.
How little I know. Yep.
Yep.
These are Lego related questions here, but what are some of your favorite Lego pieces? Like if you had to, choose a favorite part, is it the chrome gold coins,
Yeah, chrome gold coins and the palm trees.
Nice.
I would say those are my two favorite, and those are the two that I would bring back immediately if I had
Absolutely. A choice. Palm tree Lego in every Lego set.
Exactly.
Stamped and approved.
And a sprue full of gold coins.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a set about dinosaurs or whatever. Just put some chrome gold coins in there. We could all
Why
use
not?
them.
Yep. Do you have any favorite Lego colors?
Outside of chrome gold?
Yeah. We'll go outside of chrome gold. Yeah.
I can tell you my least favorite is white, and that's just because it's so hard to get white.
Yep.
When you're collecting old sets. But I don't know. Outside of chrome gold, I don't know that I have a favorite one, really.
Fair enough. Yeah. Totally. Which Lego set had that biggest impact on you as a kid, do you think?
It would have probably been the biggest set I had as a kid, which was the Bandit Secret Hideout.
Ooh.
I got that for Christmas one year. Yeah, and it was, to me at the time, it was huge. And it's funny, I don't even know if it's 200 pieces.
I think it's just barely 200.
Yeah. Looking back on it, it's funny. I still love the set, but to me, when I was a kid, that was a huge set, and I couldn't believe that I finally had a big Lego set. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one definitely had the biggest impact.
There's something about Lego Western that is like I don't. It's almost an anomaly how good those sets are. Like just consistently across the board, Lego Western is. I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same way, but like every time I get a new Lego Western set, I'm just blown away. Like not only is it presentable, like it just looks really good and it looks accurate and all that, but on top of that, it has just amazing play features like built in, and blows my mind.
I still say that jail cell play feature is the greatest that Lego has ever come up with.
100%. Yeah.
And same thing in Gold City Junction. Just that whole system
Yep.
with the dynamite and the Technic spring, just genius.
Yeah. What a creative way to incorporate that into a set. So how about as an adult then? Because we talked about the Lego impacting you as a kid. Which set as an adult had the most impact? Do you feel?
Does it have to be a modern set or?
No, I don't think it has to be. No.
Okay. I would then go with probably the Skull's Eye Schooner.
I want that one so
Because
bad.
that instantly became my favorite Lego set of all time.
Yeah.
A close second would be not Amazon Ancient Ruins, but Pharaoh's Forbidden Ruins.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I wanted that
one.
so bad as a kid, and finally getting it was such an amazing moment. It's rare when something lives up to 20 years of hype or whatever, but that it happened in that case. And same thing with Enchanted Island. I would say those three have been the biggest things.
That's
for
awesome.
Me. As far as modern sets, my favorite, or one of my favorite modern sets, is the Pirates of Barracuda Bay. I think it's 10 out of 10.
Yep. And it's a set that I feel like, Lego, you shouldn't be retiring that set until you can give us a proper Pirates line to replace it, It's kind of how I felt about it. But it's already retired at this point in time, which is such a shame.
It is. And I was, I waited too long. I wanted to get a second copy so I could have the island and the ship built at the same time.
Right, yeah.
But now they're, even for a used one, it's $100 or $200 more than the original retail price.
Yeah, it's Ugh.
Yep.
Here's a good one. Did you have much of a musical past before you started composing for your YouTube videos?
Not really. I have no training or anything like that, but I learned how to play guitar, or started learning how to play guitar when I was about 13. And then I just kind of, as far as like the keyboard goes, I just kind of fumbled through that. I looked up a few chords and then just went from there. But it's basically my journey in music is kind of like my journey in filmmaking. I know what I want it to sound like. It's just figuring out how to do that.
Yeah. So how do you draw the inspiration for the songs you write for the channel?
Well, it obviously depends on the subject matter. I usually, if it's something historical like Castle or even Adventures, I'll go with kind of a John Williams-esque soundtrack style. Like John Williams is obviously a huge inspiration for me as far as music goes. So for that, I'll go with a more traditional, like symphonic soundtrack. And then for anything else, like if it's just like a town set or especially space, I'll go with more of the, I don't know if you call it vaporwave or just like retro electronic music.
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
And really, I guess the inspiration for that stuff would be music from the 80s and early 90s,
Yeah, as you're talking about that, I got your M-Tron theme playing in my head there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barrel, 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 barrel. Yeah, that little octave thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And of those two, I think my favorite and the one that comes easiest to me is the electronic stuff.
Yeah.
It's the most fun, and sometimes I because it's meant to be background music, I have to reel myself back in. You don't want too many crescendos or anything like
For
that.
sure, for
But
sure.
it's hard to control myself with the electronic stuff sometimes.
I definitely relate in having made, I guess like music for rock creators, which are kind of themed around that same sort of thing. It's kind of like that late 90s, early 2000s kind of almost video game soundtrack sort of music. Whereas when I started talking about adventurers and actually time cruises as well too, it's more orchestral. And I really struggled with that, like bridging that gap and trying to find a way to make it actually work. So for a long while there, when I was getting my Orient Expedition series together and off the ground, I was really considering like I can't write anything here, so I'm just gonna have to like license some music or something. I really contemplated that. What ultimately allowed me to proceed is I capitulated somewhat. I said, okay, I can't make this work without having just a drum loop or something going on. I need that structure underneath to actually see any progress here. So I'm just gonna write it as if it's one of my more electronic songs, but the instrumentation is just gonna be, flutes and strings and that sort of stuff instead. And ultimately that was the path forward.
Yeah. My process would be I work a little bit at a time. Like I'll come up with the intro for the song and then figure out how to fade into the main theme or whatever and just work at it in blocks as far as the symphonic stuff goes. With the electronic stuff, same way. I'll come up with a beat or like a bass line or something and work off of that. But
do you do it all in one sitting or do you break it up?
Oh no, it takes days, hours. Like I said, I don't know what I'm doing, so it takes it. The music is probably the most difficult but most rewarding part of what I do for the channel. It literally takes hours and hours for me to put songs together, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of fumbling through. So maybe I should take my own advice and, and take a music lesson or something.
Well, the end result is really good, and
thank you.
I definitely know from having obviously listened to your adventurers theme pretty intently, because I knew when I went and did my Dino Island stuff, I wanted to pay a little musical tribute to your adventurers motif, that da 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 da, like that little thing there. And I remember sitting down at the piano, like plinking out. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, why did he choose these notes? Like, they don't belong to the scale, or like. Yeah. But it's so memorable, right? It's yeah.
And it was all by accident.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
I just liked the way it sounded.
Yeah. It sticks with you. It's real hooky melody.
Yeah.
So I guess getting back to Lego here, much like a fine wine with dinner, is there anything you pair with vintage Lego building?
Sometimes it depends what it is. Sometimes I'll throw a movie on, but usually I just build the set. Like, I enjoy it for what it is, and I just sit down with it and just me and the set. I don't usually listen to podcasts or anything or watch any other videos, but that's usually something I do with more modern sets.
Gotcha. Yeah.
For vintage stuff, it's mainly just me and the set. And it doesn't hurt that most of them are less than 300 pieces, so it takes 20 minutes to put together. You don't really have time to watch a movie or anything.
Yeah. That's true. Yep. I think, I know some of my viewers have definitely admitted it to me, and I guess I shouldn't be passing judgment on how people choose to watch their videos, but I think your answer would probably drive some people bonkers, like if they tried to sit down and just build a Lego set, no distractions, no nothing else. I know a lot of people watch my videos on 2x speed, like they just speed through it, like they just need that stimulation, right?
Right. And I think part of it for me is if I'm building a vintage set, I'm thinking about what my thoughts are about it. Like what am I going to say in the video? How, what are my very first impressions? So just having the set there allows me to completely focus on that kind of stuff. And, obviously then that makes it into the video usually.
Totally. Yep, that makes sense. Do you have a white whale? And what is it if you do?
Oh, I have a lot of white whales. Unfortunately, I don't think I could narrow it down to one.
Fair.
A few would be the Unitron monorail.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. Which I think you have that one, don't you?
I do. I just haven't built it yet. I feel a little guilty about that.
Yeah, I'm curious when you finally do build it. I would like to know its dimensions so I can figure out when I do get it how I'm actually going to film it.
Fair. Yeah. I mean, and that's the reason why I haven't built it, because I have no clue how I'm going to photograph it or film it or anything, right?
Yeah. But other than that, the airport shuttle is another one.
Yep.
That's another monorail. Black Knight's Castle. Mm-hmm. Dark Forest Fortress. Mm-hmm. Those are just a few. There's so many, and of course they're all expensive. I've pretty much any white whale I had that was relatively inexpensive I've already picked up. So
that's the thing. This is maybe a more well, you can choose to answer this question however you like. Let's put it that way. Okay. Do you have any opinions on Bricklink and how it's changed between the time you started using it to today?
Not really. I'm trying to think how long ago I actually started using Bricklink. Yeah, I haven't noticed any changes that bothered me that much. I would really appreciate it if they work towards a better mobile experience.
Yeah.
Because it's a real pain to use Bricklink on your cell phone.
I think this question is kind of interesting because it plays to two different angles, really. Because, like, there were big changes with Bricklink behind the scenes in terms of Lego buying it out and now Lego owning its own secondary market, which, you can have aversions to that. I think there's valid criticisms to be made there. But then, as you said, Bricklink as a whole, like as a tool, it's hardly changed since, like, I don't know, 2005, right? Like it's like so stuck in the past. It's such an archaic old system. That's kind of one of the things is, like, it doesn't change, and that's the problem, right?
Yeah. Now, one thing I will say, and I don't know when this is going to be uploaded, but I've seen Brixar talking about Lego implementing this new thing where you have to merge your Lego account and your Bricklink account together, and that's got a bunch of people up in arms too. So I mean, I can understand why some folks would have some issues with some of the directions that Bricklink has taken, especially since the Lego buyout. But overall, it's still something that I would rather have than not have.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. I use it all the time, basically for historical value, right? Knowing, like, being able to look up what part came in what set, that sort of thing. Yep. I've got my own, I guess, negative experiences with the administration of Bricklink, so I'm far from an unbiased bystander or anything like that. I don't really trust the people in charge there, unfortunately. Yeah. But it is what it is. I can't change it. So speaking of, I guess negative things, bad things. Do you have a personal least favorite Lego element? Like, what is the worst Lego piece in your opinion?
That is a tough one.
Yeah.
None come to mind. I can't think of a least favorite Lego element. Give me. Do you know what yours is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. So in Lego Belleville, there is this teddy bear element. That's, it's about the same size as like a minifigure, roughly about that size, but it doesn't have like studs. It doesn't have bar connections. The arms aren't bar connections. You can shove it in between studs on a base plate or like on a plate or something. If you really press hard, it'll the feet will interact there. But yeah, it's just like it's a non-Lego element. It just doesn't have any legal connections.
Right. Yeah. I will say, as a kid, my least favorite parts were any of the homemaker figures. Because like I said, I got, my collection was passed down from my mom and my uncles, and of course they had stuff from the 70s. And I used to be digging through the bin, and this homemaker head would come up, and it was like, I can't use this for anything.
Yeah.
So as a kid, that was one that always bothered me. But
Fair.
Honestly, I can't think of any. I'm trying to even look at my collection right now, but yeah, I can't think of one that really stands out as being a least favorite. Maybe I could cheat here and say that modern palm trees.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what the people want. That's good. I agree. I think they all look terrible. Like it's just yeah. We've really lost something.
For sure.
Yeah. You mentioned, I think you talked about this in one of your AMA videos on your members channel there. You talked about instructions and boxes and stuff like that. The question here is, have you ever gone back for Lego sets that you already reviewed on YouTube to collect the instructions and the box later on?
I'm trying to think. Not the box. I don't think I've ever gone back and bought a box because...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The main reason I would want that would be to showcase it in a video. As much as I enjoy looking at it, I guess I've never come across a good enough deal to buy
fair.
it just to have it. But the instructions definitely, because even just having something in my collection, if it falls off the shelf or breaks, I despise digital instructions, so I try to have the instructions for every single set. Unless they're ridiculously expensive. Like, I don't have the Forestman's Crossing instructions because they're I think $50.
Yeah,
Me, I'll use my iPad in that case.
Yeah, it's a little extreme, eh?
Yeah. And it didn't used to be that way. You used to be able to get instructions for pennies and maybe dollars for the big ones, but they've become a collectible in their own right almost.
Yeah. I've got a couple more here. This is a good one because you talked about modifying your Lego sets. Do you have a favorite modification that you've made to a Lego set before?
I guess it's kind of a cross between a modification and a mock would be my Blacktron Renegade mobile escape pod that I came up with. Yep. I'm really happy with how that turned out, and it's kind of what I wanted the set to be like from the beginning. Have some interior space outside of the cockpit. When I first heard about that set, my mind instantly went to the Galaxy Explorer, which had such a great interior in it, and I was kind of disappointed when I first saw the Renegade, and so I just kind of took matters into my own hands and built this escape pod thing that not only can be an escape pod, but can also function as an interior space for the ship.
Yeah. I can't remember. Do you have the original Renegade as well?
I do. I actually just not too long ago completed the entire Blacktron One Wave and the entire Space Police One Wave. So,
wow.
Yeah, and that's one where I made sure to get all of the boxes.
Whoa, with boxes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was probably a pretty penny, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and interestingly, my original Renegade, actually, I purchased it from Canada.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was an original Toys R Us store return. It had never been built before.
What?
Yeah, the original, like the 1x1 round studs or pips were still on their little sprues. I'm sure
my goodness.
You've seen.
Whoa.
And there were a few pieces missing from it, but it was almost like somebody got it for their birthday or whatever, and maybe took a few things out and just never built it, returned it to the store, because it's got a little note on it that there's missing pieces, and there's more missing pieces than you would normally get from a set. So somebody obviously took some parts out, but yeah, it's in beautiful condition. It's as close as you can get to building a sealed set.
Right. Yeah. It probably says Samsonite somewhere on the box.
It does.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Yep. That's
cool.
The only unfortunate thing about it. The box has a big return label right on the front.
Oh.
right over the Legoland stripe.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
But it's like it has historical value at that point, right? Like it's part of the story of that toy.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. I love seeing old price tags on Lego sets.
Me too.
Yep. It's great. All right, I've got one more question here for you, Jamie. I thought I'd save this one for last, given the nature of it. I don't know why my viewers want to ask you this, but do you have any Lego-themed opinions that would upset RR Slugger?
Oh my. Time Cruiser sucks.
What? Outrageous!
And
this interview's over. Yeah.
I don't mean that. It's certainly not one of my favorite themes, and you like it much more than I. Just watched your top 5 favorite sets of all time last night, and the Hypno Cruiser wouldn't be in my top 50. So
yeah, that's fair.
but I can appreciate some of the points you made about it for sure. But yeah, other than that, I think we see eye to eye on most things Lego. So
fair. Yeah. Did you have any strong Galador opinions?
No, that's another one, just like Bionicle, that I never had any experience with.
Fair.
I think as action figures, they're fine. Like the quality of them rivals or surpasses most other action figure designs.
That's my experience too. Yep.
I think the problem is the box said Lego on it, and it just was not what people were looking for from Lego.
No, it certainly wasn't. I never had any Galador as a kid, so that's all been acquired as an adult. But I remember back then seeing it advertised in the magazines, and I'd be like, oh, that's weird, like Lego's taking on some weird license with this show or something. I had no idea it was a Lego original theme. Like it does not look like it at all.
No. And I've never watched the show, so I can't speak to the quality of that either.
Yeah, kind of Saturday morning stuff. It's, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that about covers it here, Jamie, unless you had any closing remarks or things that I didn't talk about that you wanted to mention.
Not really. Like I said in the beginning, just thank you for really keeping the fires going while I was away. I really appreciate, what you've done for me and for the community as a whole. And congratulations on 50,000 subscribers in advance, because I know it won't be long before you hit that, and it's definitely well deserved.
Thank you, Jamie. It's been my pleasure. And I really look forward to passing the torch back to you and going on hiatus for 5 or so years.
Yeah. Then all of your subscribers are going to hate me.
Let's hope not.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time here. And if folks want to interact with you a little bit more, what would be the best way to do that? Obviously, I'm going to send them to your YouTube channel, as always. Is there a good way to reach out to you if they have more questions that they want to ask?
Yeah, like you said, the YouTube channel is where I'm most active, like with comments and things like that. But I'm also on Instagram, just at TrikBrix, or you can email me at trikbrix@gmail.com. Those are the 3 easiest ways to reach me.
I think I'll plug your members only stuff a little bit here as well too, because Jamie does some AMA videos and other exclusive things on his members platform on YouTube. So if you want to toss a couple of bucks his way, and it's it's I think it's a great use of my money, you know. So I'm happy to do that, and I encourage other people to do it as well too, where you might be able to get a more fleshed out answer if you have a big burning question.
And thank you for that too. I really appreciate it. Like I said, having gone down to 3 days a week at the day job, that I wouldn't be able to do that if it wasn't for my channel members, and their support means the absolute world to me. So thank you for being a part of that as well.
My pleasure. Well, thanks so much, Jamie. This has been great, and we're looking forward to seeing all the new stuff coming in the future for TrikBrix. The stuff that you've been showing us thus far, these last few months, has been breathtaking. So
thank you. Hopefully it'll only get better.
That's the dream, eh?
Yep, for sure.
Awesome. Well, I have been your host, RR Slugger. Joining me today was Jamie from TrikBrix, and we'll see you next time in another video.
All right, sounds good. Take care and play well.
Hey folks, wasn't that great? I really appreciate Jamie taking the time to sit down and chat with me, and I hope you all enjoyed our discussion together. Even though this was mainly an auditory format, a lot of work still went into editing the interview into the most listenable experience possible. Hopefully this time investment is appreciated. And with that in mind, I want to thank the folks who support me during the Summer of Slug. A large project like this would not be possible for me outside of this annual event, so I'd like to thank the following people for helping make this happen. Folks like Edward Pauline, who has recently rediscovered their love for Lego and begun mock building. Welcome back to the hobby. Troy Seth, who gave me permission to use either Troy Seth or Troy for their shout out. I might actually go with the latter, as it reminds me of one of my favorite movies. Brix Ahoy, who is a fellow Canadian Lego fan. Check them out on Instagram for lots of superhero related content. Magisto of Dream Castle TM, who is the undisputed champion of Lego inspired vaporwave music. Do yourself a favor and enter the Dream Castle today. Freecachet, who has such a catchy username, I feel like it's been bouncing around in my head all day. Bycanon, who can hopefully correct me again if I'm still pronouncing their name wrong. I'm pretty confident this time though. Real Nerd Ethan, who has been a lifelong fan of Rock Raiders, same as I. It's hard not to love a series with so much high adventure deep underground. Ceros, who has been super kind and supportive behind the scenes. It's really appreciated. Doki, who I can only imagine has an ultra positive attitude and a catchphrase like okie dokie. Joe Freeman, who has a username that only die-hard fans of LEGO Adventurers will understand. Donovich, who, I can't really come up with anything to say about this weird Slavic guy. And lastly, TrikBrix. Why does that username sound so familiar? These folks and many more deserve our thanks for making the Summer of Slug a reality. If you'd like to pitch in and show your support, the links are in the video description. I've been your host, RR Slugger, and I'll see you next time for another video.